pretty big medals. We're glad to have all of our youth softball and baseball players here tonight. Help celebrate youth baseball here in El Dorado, YMCA and rec leagues.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. It is time for Bronco baseball on a Sunday night here in El Dorado. And it is youth, little league, and softball, t-ball night. And as you can see, there is a bit of chaos right now. I dare say organized chaos, but I'm not sure if that's fair. We've had a lot of pregame festivities here, and now we're ready to kind of get going, but we got to get all the youngsters off the field. Really a fun event and a really nice crowd out here tonight for this final game of this 6-game homestand. El Dorado taking on Liberal. Take a look at the starting lineups. The batting order for the Liberal BeeJays tonight looks like this. Chad Kennedy, he will lead off. Trent Maloney bats second. Cale O'Donnell third. Garrett Scott will bat fourth. Jaron Robinson batting fifth. And Gage Tier is the DH. He'll bat sixth. Brennan Rhodes bats seventh. Caleb Ward eighth. And Nate Crossman will bat ninth for the BeeJays. For the Broncos tonight, out in the field, left field is Chad Crosby. Kyle Barfield is in center field, and Ben Olson is in right field. Around the infield, Josh Riggs is at third base tonight. Tyler Bailey at shortstop. Mason Goad at second base. And Colton Schenker is at first base. Tonight's catcher is Jarrett Coyne. And the pitcher for the Broncos, John Steiger. A lot of commotion in the crowd tonight. That is always nice to have. So John Steiger, we'll see if he can get things turned around. He had a rough outing here against the Hayes Larks the other night. And the first pitch is out of the zone. Ball one to Chad Kennedy. Looks like the rain has all moved south and east of us here. There's a few little blips of green on my radar, but we're good for a while here. Our first pitch temperature, 66 degrees. When I left my hometown an hour south, it was 81. Got up here, it's 68. Now it's 66 and getting cooler. 2 balls and 1 strike to Kennedy as John Steiger deals with him. So 2 balls and a strike from Steiger and a swing and a miss by Kennedy. It's 2-2. Trying to make sure. Of course, again, one of those rare nights where the north right in at us. So all my loose papers are flying away. 3 balls, 2 strikes now to Kennedy. Kennedy had a good night here last night. Here's the 3-2, and that one bounced in. Ball 4, and a leadoff walk for Kennedy. There was rain throughout the day here in El Dorado, but not heavy. It was light, and of course with the humid too. It's very crisp here tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Maloney lifts one down the right field line. That will end up foul as Ben Olson gave it a look. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. It remains to Trent Maloney. Maloney batting .276 on the season. Runner going and a foul ball. Maloney, 58 at bats, 16 hits, 4 doubles, 1 homer. He's driven in 7 on the season. And again, we hope Hunter Larson, who started here Friday night, is doing well. Jarrett Coyne, a nice job of blocking that ball in the turf. And for the second straight batter, it goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Trent Maloney. Maloney came on last night pinch hitting and doubled and scored. Here's the 3-2. That's off the corner. Ball 4. So inauspicious start here for Steiger. Back-to-back walks. Couple of records last night, Gary told me. Kyle Barfield caught 11 balls. That's a record. The previous record was 6. So he almost doubled it. So 11 catches by Barfield, a record. Another record, 19 Broncos struck out last night out of the 27 outs. That is not a record you really want. So here's Cale O'Donnell, and he tries to punch one through the right side. Mason Goad got a glove on it, slowed it up. Kennedy never broke stride. Here he comes, and the BeeJays take a 1-0 lead. Great effort by Goad, but Cale O'Donnell with an RBI single. Maloney goes first to third. And it's 1-0 Liberal. Garrett Scott steps in, and first pitch from Steiger low, ball 1. Broncos have their camouflage orange on tonight with the black numerals. Liberal has their camouflage red and blue with the white numerals. 1 ball, no strikes, and that one's fouled off. 1-1 to Garrett Scott. John Steiger. This is his 4th game, his 3rd start. That's in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Steiger. Let's get some more numbers here. Coyne able to keep this one in front. I was on the wrong. Here we go. John Steiger, his 4th start of the season. He has an ERA at 9.25. 6-game 4th start for Steiger. And the 2-2 swing and a miss. Coyne caught it, and it's a first out for El Dorado. Much needed for Steiger. So here comes Jaron Robinson. Nice to have so many of you already watching tonight. Hopefully everything's sounding okay. First pitch low to Jaron Robinson, the shortstop. Robinson last night went 2 for 4, 2 singles and 3 flyouts to center field. One of them was a sacrifice fly. This one ground to third. Riggs over to Goad at second for 1. Back to first, not in time, and a run will score. So the leadoff walks come back to hurt Steiger. So a runner at first, 2 away, and a 2-0 Liberal lead. Gage Tier DHing tonight. He'll look at strike 1. Good life on that fastball from Steiger. You're looking around the crowd, you'd think you were ready for a Friday night high school football game or something. A lot of folks with their jackets on and sweatshirts. Steiger hits the zone for strike 2 against Gage Tier. Tier came on last night, pinch hit, popped out to catcher. He played here Friday night, and he went 0 for 3. So no balls, 2 strikes. Runner on the move. This one's lifted out into center field. Kyle Barfield coming up and cannot make the catch. Couldn't make the throw, and he will get it in, so runners at first and third. So a single for Tier, and Liberal will bring up their 7th batter of this top of the first inning. It'll be Brennan Rhodes. Brennan Rhodes from Snyder, Texas, goes to Lubbock Christian. And he hits one sharply in the hole. That's a base hit. That will score 1. And the runner, Tier, will stop at second base. So a nice top of the first inning here for Liberal. They capitalized on the 2 leadoff walks, and now their 3rd single of the inning and an RBI for Rhodes. 3-0 Liberal. And Caleb Ward, who pitched an inning last night. First pitch is in there. Strike 1 to Ward. Ward resides in Hampton, Virginia. He goes to the University of Richmond. No balls and a strike. And the big curveball missing, ball one. Again, Hunter Larson, we hear, is doing better. And nice to have. We'll look forward to seeing him at the park again. Hopefully make the trip to Derby on Tuesday, or hopefully be here Wednesday. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Broncos will have some work to do when they come up in the bottom of the first, down 3-0 already. And the 1-2 pitch, and just missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Our email address, we'll get to those. Hope you'll drop us an email. CadenBroadcasting@gmail.com. And we welcome Liberal and El Dorado fans, of course. There's just a piece of that, did Ward, to stay alive. So 2 balls, 2 strikes to Caleb Ward. And the pitch, and it looked like he went. Oh, they say he didn't. Boy, it looked like he got spun around a little bit. I don't know if his wrist really broke, but the bat looked like it went across the dish. And again, the adventure of the check swings this year. So the runners will be moving here. Caleb Ward with a full count. And the pitch, and that one on the inside corner. That was a gift right there. Caleb Ward. Yeah, that's a tough one against him. He may have gotten away with one on the check swing, and it got him back there. So a strikeout for Steiger. He struck out 2 in the inning, but he walked 2. The Liberal BeeJays score 3 times on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left. We will head to the bottom of the first inning. Liberal 3, El Dorado coming to bat. So let's take a peek at tonight's batting order for the Broncos. Jarrett Coyne will lead off. Tyler Bailey bats second. Aaron Mack third. Colton Schenker fourth. Kyle Barfield will bat fifth. Chad Crosby sixth. Josh Riggs will bat seventh. Ben Olsen eighth. And Mason Goad will bat ninth. For Liberal out in the field, Nate Crossman's in left field. Chad Kennedy in center. And Caleb Ward's in right field. First pitch to Coyne, fouled out of play. Around the infield, at third base is Trent Maloney. Jaron Robinson is the shortstop. Brennan Rhodes at second base, and Cale O'Donnell at first base. The 0-1 to Coyne, missing 1 ball, 1 strike. The catcher tonight is Garrett Scott, and the pitcher, Jake Harrison. 1 ball, 1 strike, inside corner, strike 2. We say hello tonight to Jake Riggs. Josh's brother celebrates his 16th birthday tonight. And it looks like the Riggs clan all gathered for birthday cake and Broncos baseball tonight. Happy birthday, Jake Riggs. Here's the 1-2. High. Good life on that fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two to Coyne, and Jarrett Coyne didn't like the call, so Both sides with some grumbling early on some strike calls.
Number 5, Tyler Bailey.
So here's Tyler Bailey. Tyler Bailey looks at, there he swings at strike one. Tyler Bailey from Stafford, Virginia. 5'10", 170, goes to King College. And that pitch missing, 1 ball, 1 strike. And an email from Ormond Beach, California, home of the Myers. Home of Austin Meyer. That one a little in, 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. And I'm glad you enjoyed seeing the youngsters run out with the Broncos out on the field. That was fun. Bailey bounces it to short. Robinson fields it, fires. Good strong throw to first, and that will retire Bailey. So 2 away, and here comes the DH tonight, Aaron Mack. Thank you for the email from Ormond Beach, Florida. Nancy Randall says, let's get third base in the picture tonight. I'll do my best. First pitch to Aaron Mack, misses. So Nancy Randall watching tonight with Josh's mom and dad, Julie and Grant, brother Joe, Jackie, Linda, Brandon, Tiffany, Aunt Nancy, Uncle Bob, building a fire in the fireplace. Weird that we need fire. I'll tell you what, a fire wouldn't feel too bad here right now. 2 balls and no strikes. Fastball high, ball 3. A cool breeze coming in out of the north. Like I said, first pitch temperature tonight was 66 degrees. I'm curious what the temperature is in Irons, Michigan tonight. There's a strike to Aaron Mack, taking all the way. 3 balls and 1 strike. Jake Harrison on the hill, right-handed pitcher for the BeeJays, winds and deals. A swing and a miss, strike 2. Jake Harrison from Huffman, Texas, goes to the University of Texas at San Antonio. He's 6'2", 180. And a full count to Mack, and Mack fouls it straight back. Email address, cadenbroadcasting@gmail.com. Liberal fans, if you're watching, feel free to drop me a line. Love to know where you're emailing from, who you're rooting for in particular. Mack, and that pitch comes across the dish for strike 3. Good inning for Harrison. He goes 3 up, 3 down on the Broncos' top 3 hitters. So, we will head to the second inning. Liberal 3, El Dorado 0. More play-by-play in a moment. Thank you for tuning in tonight. You're watching and listening to Bronco Baseball. Nate Crossman, the number 9 batter tonight for Liberal, leads off as Liberal sent 8 to the plate in the first inning. And 1-0 from John Steiger. That Pitch well outside, 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes here to Nate Crossman. And Crossman will foul this one out of play. Terrific crowd, probably our best crowd of the season. Usually the 4th of July and Thank a Veteran Night are our biggest attendances. But a really good crowd here tonight. 2 balls and 1 strike to Crossman. Curveball just missed. I think the umpire gave up on that one, and it dropped right on in there, but ball 3 is the call. 3 balls, 1 strike. There's a swing and a miss, and it's a full count. Thank you for the photo. Stella and Harrison are cheering on Josh Riggs. I see him there right in front of the TV. That's nice. Crossman able to spoil that 3-2 pitch, and he'll get another chance. So Stella and Harrison, hope you're enjoying the pictures. We zoomed in on Josh a little bit there during the infield warm-up. Here's the 3-2 curveball, chopped towards Riggs. Riggs gloves it. He's going to have to whip it over there, and I think Crossman beat it. Yep. That'll be an infield single for Crossman. Good hustle down the line by Nate Crossman. So, let me put Crossman at first. There we go. And a foul ball by the leadoff batter, Chad Kennedy, who walked and scored. Leadoff walks tend to bring on bad results for the defense. Here's the 0-1. Kennedy bounces it towards Riggs. He gloves it, fires to second. That's off of Goad's glove. Rolls over to first. Schenker will run it down, but Mason Goad's going to get that error. So an error on Mason Goad. Crossman advances to third. So the Broncos had 2 errors last night and an early error here tonight. 2 infield ground balls, and BeeJays have runners at the corners. Running is Kennedy, and there's a ball through the right side. Goad trying to run it down, does in short right field. He'll throw it into Schenker. That's an RBI single for Maloney. Kennedy advances to third, and Crossman scores, and it's 4-0. And now the runner heads to second base, and they're going to call him out. So Maloney thought he could catch the Broncos sleeping, and very nearly did, but Bailey able to apply the tag. And that's a gift out for the Broncos. So, 1 away, runner at third. Steiger deals with O'Donnell up the middle. Goad ranges behind second base, able to throw out O'Donnell, but that will score Chad Kennedy. Mason Goad showing some good range there. So the second RBI of the night for O'Donnell, and it's 5-0 Liberal. And for Steiger, this has not been a bad inning. Every ball has pretty much been here on the infield, but a hustling infield single for Crossman, an error on Goad. Maloney was able to get it through. O'Donnell grounded down the field. Here's Garrett Scott, a swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. I was mentioning leadoff walks. You might remember Kennedy led off the game with a walk, and then so did Maloney. And those 2 walks did score for Liberal. Steiger's 1-2 out of the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike. And Steiger's pitch, that one's clubbed foul, and it's 2-2. So Garrett Scott, who struck out his first time, with a 2-2, curveball swing and a miss. A mighty whack by Scott, and to no avail. But the BeeJays scored 2 times on 2 hits, 1 error, nobody left. We will head to the bottom of the second inning. 5-0 Liberal here on YouTube. Well, the El Dorado Broncos have their work cut out for them here tonight. They've fallen behind 5-0 after the first two trips to the plate by Liberal. Leading off will be Colton Schenker, and a swing and a miss, strike one against Jake Harrison. Harrison deals a ball, 1 strike. Jake Harrison, his fourth start of the season. 18 innings pitched. He's given up just 3 earned runs, a 1.5 ERA. So Liberal really has thrown out some fine pitchers. Of course, Sam Beatty last night was really good. 7 innings, 14 strikeouts. 2-1 pitch to Schenker, and he hit it off the end of the bat. That'll land in the glove of Maloney at third base. And the first out here in the bottom of the second inning.
Number 3, Kyle Barfield.
So Kyle Barfield will step in. More emails coming in. Hope to see your emails and your photos. Sure makes it fun. Kyle Barfield looks at ball 1. And, of course, love our El Dorado fans watching and always sending me some emails. Barfield sends it a mile high. That might land on the press box. And it landed on something. Not the press box, but just behind us. 1 ball, 1 strike. We did get a Liberal email tonight. Cammie Hill cheering on her boyfriend, Brennan Rhodes. Brennan Rhodes over at second base. So, Cammie, thank you for the email and hope you're enjoying being able to watch and listen to tonight's game. All El Dorado home games are broadcast here on YouTube, and then they will be archived, so you can go back. If something special happens, I saw Michelle Coyne post on Facebook Jarrett's home run last night. That was kind of fun to see. Barfield looks at that curveball that's in there for strike 3. So the strikeout bug continues here for El Dorado. Here comes Chad Crosby.
Number 31, Chad Crosby.
And Rick and Michelle are watching tonight from Orange County in Mission Viejo. It's a brisk 90 degrees in Mission Viejo. Chad swings and misses, strike 1. Chad Crosby coming into play with a 111 batting average, still getting his feet wet. 18 at bats and 2 hits for Chad. One of those left the yard. Pitch upstairs, ball 1. Chad played a terrific center field here Friday night. 1 ball, 1 strike, and the pitch from Harrison, a little bit outside, ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike here to Chad Crosby. Josh Riggs waits on deck. So, Rick and Michelle, thank you for the email and the weather update there in California. Yeah, 66 degrees here. More blue sky now showing up above us as that rain is pushed to the south and the east. Crosby right on that pitch, but he fouled it straight back. Love seeing all the emails coming in. 3 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. Crosby hits it the other way, but foul. Lynn Donovic, Aunt Lynn to Kyle Barfield, says it's hot in Houston. We mentioned the fire they're building in Irons, Michigan. Well, down in Houston, Texas, they don't need any fires in the fireplace tonight. 3-2 pitch, and that one dived down a little bit low, and a walk for Crosby and the first base runner tonight for El Dorado. So here comes Josh Riggs. Josh with as always, a lot of folks watching up in Irons, Michigan. Josh started last night. And the first pitch to Riggs, laced out into left field, a base hit. Around second and on his way to third is Crosby, and he will make it. Riggs with a look, and now we'll hustle back to first base. The first hit of the night for El Dorado, delivered by Josh Riggs. And now here comes Ben Olsen.
Number 8, Ben Olsen.
So the Broncos trying to put together a little 2-out magic here. Schenker popped out, Barfield struck out, Crosby walked, Riggs singles. And now here's Ben Olsen. Ben batting .233 on the season. 7 for 30 on the season. .233. And the first pitch low. 1 ball, no strikes. Harrison looking in. He's got a sign. Good lead by Riggs off of first. And the pitch. And that one across the knees for strike 1. We say hello to Carol Zeman from the family of Austin Meyer in Ozark Beach, Missouri. Let's go Broncos. Grand Mere, it says here. Ben Olsen hits it into center field. A base hit. And Josh Riggs will go first to third. Ben Olsen got about halfway down the line. The first baseman was backing up the throw to second. And the Broncos do the first to third action here tonight, and it's 5-1. Josh Riggs easily making it over to third. Good job by the center fielder Kennedy to keep that from getting past him. Otherwise, Riggs scores. So, Carol, thank you for the email. Go Broncos, woot woot. Yes. So the Broncos have, first 2 were retired, and now the next 3 have made it to base, and Chad Crosby scores the first run for El Dorado. 5-1 our score. Mason Goad, the second baseman. And the pitch from Harrison. Goad right on it, fouled it back. What else we got here? Happy early birthday to the Big Easy number 9, Austin Meyer. Lots of love from Florida, from Aunt Ida and Andy, Madison, and Ashton. Thank you for the email, Ida. Here's the pitch to Goad. That's in there, strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. 5-1 our score. And the pitch. Goad fouls it off. Ben Olsen was moving on the pitch. Hey, Austin Meyer's dad. I met them last night. Austin's dad and clan just jumped on the game. Says, good grief, we got work to do, yeah. The Liberal jumped out to a 5-0 lead. Goad couldn't check his swing, and it's strike 3. Well, the Broncos break through. 1 run on 2 hits. No errors, 2 left. And we'll head to the third inning. Liberal 5, El Dorado 1. Well, John Steiger, the starter for the Broncos, has had some struggles, a high ERA, but that second inning, he kept everything in the infield for the most part, but Liberal was still able to score 2 times. So 5-1 Liberal as we head to the third inning. Here's Jaron Robinson, and Robinson looks at ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. And the pitch, curveball, that one drops in there for strike 1. Love to, if you would like to friend me on Facebook, would not mind at all. Kurt Caden on Facebook, there's a swing and a miss. And on Twitter, it's Charles Osen. Long story. We'll just leave it at that. And here's a tapped ball back to Steiger. He will fire over to first and retire Robinson 1-3. And for the first time tonight, El Dorado gets the leadoff BeeJay out. So here comes Gage Tier. Gage Tier from Brandon, Mississippi. Goes to Nichols State. Thanks again to the Meyer family watching tonight down in Oklahoma City, I believe, right? 1 ball, no strikes here to Tier. He's 1 for 1 with a single. And he'll look at ball 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. And this pitch just misses 2-1. And the pitch is ball 4. So Tier will trot down to first base. And Brandon Rhodes, girlfriend Cammie, watching tonight. Rhodes, RBI single. He's 1 for 1. Liberal had a 3-run first and a 2-run second. Steiger, and this one's hit and get over the glove of Mason Goad. That will get out into right center field. Slipping and falling is Olson. Now fires it in. Bailey has it going home, and he is out at the plate. Tyler Bailey to Jarrett Coyne to retire Gage Tier. So 9-6-2 on the putout. Brennan Rhodes gets a single, and he advances to second. So the second BeeJay that's been retired on the base pads tonight. It'll be a double. So Rhodes will get a double there. And Ward hits it out into left field. Crosby's got it, and quickly throwing it in and unable to come in will be Rhodes, and Ward trots back to first. So First pitch swinging there was Ward, and runners at first and third for Crossman. This is a BJ team that on Friday night only had 2 hits. They had a bunch last night, and they already have 7 here tonight. Nate Crossman singled and scored in the second inning. And Steiger starts him off with strike 1. Nancy Randall emailed me. I'll get some information for you on your question about hotels. Ball got in. Coyne blocked it, but it couldn't find it. Ward will move on the pass ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike. A single here could give Liberal a couple more runs. 1 ball, 1 strike, and Coyne getting a good workout back there, 2-1. Two and one. Steiger, the lefty, pitches it, and that's fouled off. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And this is a big moment in this game for the Broncos. They're able to crack through in the bottom of the second inning. They want to put a goose egg up there on the third inning box score for the BeeJays. Liberal has other ideas. Here's the 2-2. That one's low and in, ball 3. So another full count. This is about the 4th or 5th full count that Steiger's gone. He's thrown a lot of pitches here in the first 3 innings. Here comes the 3-2. And that one stayed upstairs. So bases loaded for the BeeJays.
Number 12, Chad Kennedy.
And Chad Kennedy reached on a walk, scored. Reached on an error, scored. Here's the first pitch, and Kennedy lifts it foul and out of play into the parking lot. Tomorrow night, an off day for El Dorado and everybody in the league. So no balls and a strike to Kennedy, and he'll foul this one. Nice play down at third base by Coach Daniel Parker. Good hands. So no balls, 2 strikes. Here to Chad Kennedy. Boy, Chad had a good night here last night, which included a 3-run home run. Here comes the 0-2 from Steiger, and he bounces this one in. Boy, Jarrett Coyne is going to have some bruises on his arm. That was not blocked with the chest protector. That looked like it was the shoulder. Trent Maloney waits on deck. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and a foul ball. Tanner White at the end of the Bronco dugout, able to go field that one for El Dorado. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the pitch, fastball, pops into foul territory. That will get into the parking lot. Just missed the Suburban that's parked right behind the Liberal dugout. That one just missed it. So we'll do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kennedy getting his money's worth up at the plate here. And the pitch, that's inside, ball 2. Liberals got the bases loaded. A walk, a double. The Broncos able to throw Gage Tier out, then a single, did not score a run, then a walk. And again in the turf, this one's going to get by Coyne, and a run for the Jays. Not much chance there for Coyne. Now runners at second and third, and another run for the BeeJays. So that takes the force out anywhere, and a full count here to Kennedy. And Kennedy hits it a mile high. Colton Schenker drifts into foul territory, and Schenker makes the catch. But the wild pitch allows a run to score. 1 run on 2 hits. No errors, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the third inning. It's Liberal 6, El Dorado 1. Jared Coyne leading it off for the Broncos here in the bottom of the third inning. And quickly, Coyne ahead, 2 balls and no strikes. Coyne on the 2-0, hits it down the third base side, just foul. So 2 balls and 1 strikes. And the 2-1 pitch to Coyne. Fouls it straight back, out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good email here from Michelle Coyne. And Jarrett checks his swing, 3-2. Jarrett's Grandma Mary, Papa Coyne, Meemaw, and Papa Foco, Brother Carson, and Dog Prince cheering him on. We're at 64 degrees up in Sterling, Michigan. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Jarrett Coyne, and it's hit towards second base. And Rhodes has it over to first. Jarrett running hard as he always does. He's going to be thrown out by a step. Sure liked Michelle Coyne's post, that Facebook post, as she went into the archive of our broadcast and posted it on Facebook. That was great. Fun for me to hear the call, too. I don't always go back and listen to every play. I go back and watch a lot of the game, but 1 ball, no strikes. Nice picture of the whole Coyne clan. And Bailey hits this one out to right center field. And it's going to get up against the wall. Tyler Bailey on his way to second base. Little trouble out there picking it up for Ward, but down 6-1. No need to chance that. So a double for Bailey. Boy, great sound off the ball meeting the bat there. Boy, that's a good TV, too, the Coynes have there. It looks like yellow and green is a big color. I see a Tigers hat. That's great. Oh, I appreciate the photos are so great, folks. I never get tired of them. I love seeing how many family members gather to watch these. Just shows the love everyone has for their son, grandson, nephews. Just great. So the Broncos down 6-1, runner on second, and here's Aaron Mack with 1 away here in the home half of the third inning. And the pitch from Harrison. Mack hits it sharply right down the first base line. It's gloved over there by O'Donnell. Stumbles a moment, but then gathers himself and records the out. Moving to third is Bailey, but now there's 2 outs. Colton Schenker got caught kind of reaching out and just hit one off the end of the bat and popped out to third base his first time. So the Broncos need a 2-out hit here. 6-1 Liberal, and Schenker had a good pitch to hit, fouled it off, strike 1. No balls and a strike. And the pitch to Schenker. He foul tips that one, 0-2. Colton Schenker from Labette County Community College. And the 0-2. Schenker challenged and misses. And the Broncos spoil the 1-out double from Bailey. No runs a hit, no errors, 1 left. We head to Trent Maloney will lead it off for Liberal. Maloney, 1 for 1 with a walk and a run scored tonight. One ball and no strikes here to Maloney. John Steiger out for his 4th inning of work, and that curveball drops in there for strike 1. So a ball and a strike, and Maloney pokes this one out of play down the third base side. Get back to some more of your emails tonight. Here's the 1-2 hit towards Tyler Bailey at short. He gloves it, throws over to first, and that will retire Maloney. So 1 away for Liberal here in the top of the 4th inning. And Cale O'Donnell steps in, and he has an RBI single in the 1st inning and an RBI ground out in the 2nd. So 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. And O'Donnell looks at ball 1. And hello to Aunt Holly and Uncle Jeremy, Ben, Megan, and Emily cheering on Josh Riggs tonight from Leroy, Michigan. Strike 1 on a swing and a miss by O'Donnell. So, Holly, thank you for the email. Go number 24. And the 1-1 pitch to O'Donnell. Just missed. 2 balls and a strike. And that curveball, that one misses. 3-1. Randy Meyer with Betty and the girls Cheering on Austin Meyer and the El Dorado Broncos tonight. Thank you, Randy, for the email. Here's O'Donnell, a high pop-up. This one's going to drift into foul territory. Schenker now back into fair territory, and he makes the catch for the second out. Colton's had a couple of really towering high fly balls to settle under. So 2 away, and here's Garrett Scott. Garrett Scott playing for the third night in a row in his third different position. He played left field here Friday night, third base last night, and he's catching tonight. 1 ball and no strikes to Scott. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. He's been the only BJ who has not been able to figure out Steiger tonight. And he's ahead 2-0. He should get something sweet to hit here. And the 2-0 pitch. That one's drifting high, ball 3. Austin Meyer has family from New York. Dan, Russell, or Little Dan, Russell, Gabby, or Dan, and I'm going to guess Dan and Little Dan, Russell, Gabby, and Melissa from New York tonight, watching and listening. Nice to have you tuned in. Thank you for the email. Scott, a 5-pitch walk. Walks have hurt Steiger tonight. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walks tonight for Steiger. Jaron Robinson steps in. He is 0 for 2. RBI fielder's choice and a run scored in the first inning, and he grounded out to Steiger last time out. 1 ball and no strikes to Robinson. Steiger working quickly. Here's a hit out to Bailey at short. Flips over to Mason Goad, and they'll retire the BeeJays. And El Dorado able to keep Liberal off the scoreboard for the first time tonight here in the 4th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. 6-1 Liberal here on YouTube. So Kyle Barfield will lead it off here for El Dorado. Kyle from College Station, Texas, goes to Kansas State University. And 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch from Harrison. Barfield hits it hard, but right at the shortstop, Robinson, who really has a laser for an arm. And they retire Barfield 6-3. Chad Crosby will step in. Crosby walked and scored in the 2nd inning for El Dorado. He was the Broncos' first base runner. And the pitch from Harrison, that's high, ball 1. Harrison, when he first went to the mound, he had a 3-0 lead. Then he had a 5-0 lead. Now it's 6-1. Here's the 1-0 pitch. 2 balls and no strikes. And Chad Crosby way ahead now, 3 balls and no strikes. Three balls, no strikes, and that pitch misses. So 4 in a row out of the zone, and Crosby walks for the second time. Josh Riggs has one of the 3 Bronco hits tonight. His hit put runners at first and third. And then Ben Olsen drove in Crosby. Pitch to Riggs, crossed the knees, ball 1 or strike 1. Big rooting section for Josh Riggs out in the YouTube universe tonight. No balls, 1 strike. And Crosby forces Harrison to step off. Josh Riggs really put together, 6-6. And Riggs looks at ball 1. Just watching, I don't know if his hands are that. It just looks like he's swinging a twig up there. He squeezes that thing and he's ready to hack. 1 ball, 1 strike. Crosby on the move. Pitch low. Scott's throw is on the third base side of second. Crosby may have slid on the ball. That never feels great. And a stolen base for Chad Crosby. So a runner in scoring position for Riggs. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch, and Riggs was fooled there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Josh Riggs coming into play tonight, batting .269. 7 hits and 26 at-bats. He has 1 long ball. And the 2-2 low. Nice pick there by Scott. 3-2. Josh Riggs with 8 RBI and 3 runs scored. Here's the 3-2. And Riggs will walk, and runners at first and second. And a mound visit here for the BeeJays as Ben Olsen comes up. Ben Olsen singled in a run his last time. Don't forget on July 8th, which let's see, July 8th is a Saturday. Saturday, July 8th. It'll be Thank a Veteran Night, the 4th annual Thank a Veteran Night here at El Dorado. Riley Bump will perform the national anthem. Vietnam veteran Dan Morrow will throw out the first pitch. And all veterans are asked to attend the game and be recognized on the field for their service. It is a wonderful event. It draws a big crowd, and everyone's it's just so fun to be able to thank the veterans. And it is a neat event here. That's Saturday, July 8th. As the Broncos on July 8th will be hosting the Dodge City A's. Ben Olsen will look at ball 1. Night off tomorrow, and then El Dorado has 5 of their next 6 games away from home. Here's the 1-0, and that one's off the plate, 2-0. And don't forget, Wednesday night is the only home game next week, and it'll be a doubleheader, so we'll be on the air an hour earlier, 6 o'clock. 2 7-inning games on Wednesday. Low to Olsen, ball 3. Mason Goad waits on deck. 1 away for the Broncos. Kyle Barfield hit it sharply, but right at the shortstop Robinson, who retired him, and then a walk and a walk. And now 3-0 to Olsen. And the pitch, that one misses, so 3 straight walks by Harrison, who's been really good. And now the bases are loaded for Mason Goad. Garrett Scott's going to go talk. Liberal all of a sudden gets their bullpen fired up. Liberal after tonight, they've been on the road for 6 straight games. They go home for 8 straight games. So a big moment here for El Dorado, falling behind in this game 6-1. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning, but the base is loaded, and Mason Goad will try to make Harrison pay for those walks. Here's the first pitch to Goad. That's in there for strike one. Harrison going from the windup here. Goad on the season hitting .214. Ball one. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Mason Goad. And Goad had a notion, couldn't pull the trigger, and it's in there for strike two. Jarrett Coyne waits on deck. So Harrison, after walking 3 straight, here's a 1-2 curveball in there for strike 3. Boy, did Harrison gather himself after 3 walks. Strikes out Goad for the second time tonight. And now the Broncos need something here from Jarrett Coyne. Coyne 0 for 2. He struck out looking and grounded out to second base. First pitch to Coyne. Nice job by Scott to make that backhanded stab. 1 ball and no strikes. Sun shining, so difficult right now for the second baseman and especially the right fielder. Here's the 1-0. Low, ball 2. Jarrett Coyne, .282 on the season. He has driven in 7 runs. He has scored 8. He has 4 doubles and a home run. 2 balls, no strikes. And that one's off the plate, ball 3. So an interesting inning for Harrison. 3 straight walks, then he looked brilliant against Goad, and now back to 3-0 here with Coyne. Tyler Bailey waits on deck. And the 3-0 pitch. That's in there, taking all the way was Coyne. 3 balls, 1 strike. Now Jarrett looks for his pitch. Here is the 3-1, and Coyne lifts this one into foul territory. O'Donnell settles under it and makes the catch, and the Broncos cannot cash in on the 3 walks. No runs, no hits, no errors, 3 left. We'll head to the 5th inning, 6-1 Liberal. And welcome back here. Kurt Caden from McDonald Stadium in El Dorado, and the Broncos have a new pitcher. Avery Reedmiller will come in. He pitched an inning and 2/3 here on Friday night. He was the one who had to come in for Hunter Larson after he was hit in the head. So John Steiger tonight goes 4 innings. First pitch is a strike in there to Gage Tier. 4 innings pitched, 7 hits, 6 runs, 5 walks, and 3 strikeouts for John Steiger in his 4 innings of work. Reed Miller misses. It's 1 ball and 1 strike here to Gage Tier. Gage Tier, 1 for 1 with a walk. Tier was the runner who was gunned down trying to score first to home. Here's ball towards the Liberal bullpen. Schenker gives it a great run, but couldn't catch up with it. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Some more emails have been trickling in. Haven't gone to those. Our email address is cadenbroadcasting@gmail.com. And the Laguerre family sending their shout-outs tonight. Grandparents Dan and Chiquita O'Leary are with the Laguerre family in St. Charles, Illinois. Here comes the 1 ball, 2 strike pitch to Tier, and it's out of the zone, ball 2. We also have 7-year-old Jacob Terrell from Chicago with us. And they want to wish John Laguerre an early happy 20th birthday tomorrow. John Laguerre turns 20 tomorrow, so we'll say happy birthday to John as well. Of course, no baseball tomorrow. Thank you for the email. The King family is watching from Liberal tonight. Rooting on their BeeJays, so hello to the King family. Tier looks at strike 3. Didn't love the call. A little bit of a word as he walks back to the dugout. We've seen several batters on both sides show a little disgust with the zone tonight. Here comes Brennan Rhodes. So thank you for the email from BJ Country. Cheering on all the BeeJays. There's a mighty swing and a miss by Rhodes. Strike 1. Avery Reed Miller in his 8th game of the season. Here's a ball hit out to Tyler Bailey, and he'll fire over to first and hits Schenker for the second out. 2 away, and here comes Caleb Ward. Reed Miller, 8th appearance, 16 and a third innings, 18 hits, 16 runs, 14 earned, 9 walks, 8 strikeouts, and he has a 1-win, 1-loss record, and he has a save. This one hit hard out to left center field. Barfield going back and up against the wall, made the catch. What a play by Kyle Barfield. Saw the fence move. He banged into it in the left center field. What a grab by Barfield. 3 up, 3 down for Reed Miller. Here in the 5th, we're halfway through. Liberal 6, El Dorado 1. More of your emails, more play-by-play in a moment. You're watching and listening to El Dorado Bronco Baseball on YouTube. So time for the bottom of the 5th inning. Broncos missed a golden opportunity in the bottom of the 4th inning with bases loaded, 1 out, but could not cash in. Now Tyler Bailey will step in. He's 1 for 2 with a double. Bailey had a 1-out double in the 3rd, but was stranded there. The Broncos have been missing that key hit here tonight. They've had opportunities against this tough righty, Harrison. Harrison misses. Strike, or ball 1, I should say. And Bailey, this one slicing away from the center fielder, and that'll drop in. Tyler Bailey with a base hit. and he's 2 for 3. So a good start for El Dorado here in the 5th inning. Here comes Aaron Mack. Want to say hello to the Schmidt family. They're cheering on the Liberal BeeJays and their son Kyle. Kyle hit the ball hard last night. He was really good. Meemaw and Peepaw Ketchum from Boulevard, Texas, and Holly from Kerrville all watching, and they say go BeeJays. There's strike one to Aaron Mack. And then it says Schmitties from Smithville. Always love hearing from the home fans. Love hearing from the visiting fans too. Of course, they have a good broadcast in Brock Kappelman. He does radio, so no video for Brock, but he does a great job, and always someone I've admired in our business. 1 ball, 1 strike to Aaron Mack. He's 0 for 2 tonight, and a good cut, but he missed it, 1-2. Amy Russell. Can't wait to come to El Dorado and watch Jarrett Coyne, Cousin Tate, and Josie. Let's go, Jarrett, they say. On the move, hit and run, and Mack fouled it out of play. Thank you for the email, Amy Russell. And looks like another BJ, the Ketchum family, watching from Boulevard, Texas. So thank you. Nice to know where everyone's listening at and watching. Makes it more fun for me. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Mack turns on one, hits it down the right field side. That's going to one-hop the fence. Mack on his way to second base, Bailey to third, and they're waving him home. Bailey coming in, he will score. Ball got away from the catcher, Scott, and Aaron Mack goes to third base. So an RBI double for Mack. There'll be an error on the throw. So Aaron Mack, boy, when he gets his arms out there and really turns on it, he is one good hitter. Here's Colton Schenker, 6'2", Liberal. Colton Schenker 0 for 2 tonight. A pop out to third and a strikeout. The lights have been on. It was much darker when we started the game, but the clouds have broken up, and it's really just a cool, crisp June 25th evening here in El Dorado. Those of you not familiar with El Dorado, we have so many of you from around, not in this area. This is really unheard of to have temperatures in the 60s here in south central Kansas. No balls and a strike. Schenker hits it hard right towards Rhodes at second. He'll take the out at first. That'll drive in Aaron Mack. And the Broncos get to 6-3. An RBI ground out for Colton Schenker. He hit it hard. Right at the second baseman. So Kyle Barfield will come up with the bases empty. 1 out. Kyle Barfield 0 for 2 tonight. And that curveball in there for strike 1. Barfield's been in a little bit of a funk at the plate lately. Trying to get out of that. And this one's lifted. He'll serve this one out into right center field. Barfield makes the turn, but the right fielder Ward has it, so a single for Kyle Barfield. Boy, did he need that. And we might have a pitching change. Looks like the bullpen is ready to go to work for Liberal. Chad Crosby will be the next batter for El Dorado, but he's going to see a new pitcher. So the night for Jake Harrison is over. Gave up 3 runs on 6 hits. The runner at first base is his responsibility. 6-3, Liberal. We'll tell you about the new pitcher in a moment. Bronco Baseball on YouTube. So the El Dorado Broncos scoring couple runs here already in the bottom of the 5th inning, and they've chased the starter, Jake Harrison. Zach Zeller comes in. Zach Zeller, 6'6", 170. From Katy, Texas, goes to UT San Antonio. And boy, watching his warm-ups, he really throws hard. First pitch to Chad Crosby, and ball 1. Crosby from Mission Viejo, California. Here's the 1-0, and chasing a little bit of a high fastball. Missing is Crosby. 1 ball and 1 strikes. For Zeller, his 7th game. 7 1/3 innings of work. 5 hits, 1 run. It was earned. No walks, 8 strikeouts for Zeller. So another tough customer up there for the Broncos to deal with. And the pitch, and that one stayed upstairs, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike to Chad Crosby. 2 walks tonight. The walk in the 2nd inning came around and scored. He was stranded at third base in the 4th inning. Here's the 2-1, and fouled. Back 2 balls and 2 strikes. Even getting in on a little bit of the live chat on the YouTube broadcast that we have. I don't do that very often, but I was able to peek over there and see some of the Liberal fans who are watching and have emailed me tonight. Here's the 2-2, and that one fouled right off of Scott's mask, and the umpire will give Scott a moment. I think Scott says he's all right. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Chad Crosby. Josh Riggs comes up next, and when Riggs gets up there, it'll be 6'6" Josh Riggs and 6'6" Zach Zeller. There's got to be some basketball coaches wondering how did they not get those guys on the hardwood. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch, and Crosby a swing and a miss. So Crosby with the 2nd out of the inning, and here comes Josh Riggs. Riggs singled in the 2nd inning, walked in the 4th. He's 1 for 1. Nancy Randall and the gang from Irons. Good picture. Yeah, a picture of the fire in the background there. Looks like a nice view outside the window there too. Love the photo. A lot of the clan watching there. Watching Josh here. 6'6" against 6'6". Here's the pitch. Curveball missed. So 1 ball and no strikes to Josh Riggs. 2 away for the Broncos here in the 5th inning. And the pitch, and Riggs couldn't pull the trigger there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Zach Zeller, a peek over at first base. Getting a lead off there is Barfield, and the pitch gets past Scott. That probably will be a wild pitch. So Barfield waiting out there for Riggs. And Josh Riggs waiting, trying to deliver in Barfield. And Riggs got under this one, hits it out into right center field. And the right fielder Ward is under it and makes the catch. Riggs just got under it. And that is the 3rd out of the inning. So Riggs just missed as he flies out to right field. Nice job by Zach Zeller coming in to put out the fire. 2 runs for El Dorado on 3 hits. There was no errors and 1 left. We'll go to the 6th inning. Liberal 6, El Dorado 3. New pitcher for the Broncos as we head into the 6th inning. Sam Capps is going to take over for El Dorado. Generally, Sam a starter. Sam Capps from Smithville, Missouri. Goes to Fort Hays State. And it's 1-0. Crossman tonight, 1 for 1. Singled and scored in the second, walked in the third. And he looks at that pitch, strike one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Avery Reedmiller in the 5th inning, 1 inning of work, 1 strikeout, no hits given up. Capps just misses the inner third. So 2 balls and a strike. We saw Sam Capps here. He started off the homestand. He pitched Tuesday night against Hayes, and he went 6 1/3 innings. Gave up 10 hits and 4 runs in the loss to the Hayes Larks here on Tuesday, which opened up our homestand. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here to Crossman. 9-1-2 for Liberal. Here comes the 3-2, and this one's tapped towards first base. Capps rushes over to cover, but Schenker will take it himself and retire Crossman. Hunter Larson is in the crowd tonight. There he is. He's in uniform. Very good to see Hunter Larson tonight. First pitch to Chad Kennedy inside, 1 ball and no strikes. Again, Hunter was the pitcher here Friday night who took a line drive right off the head. Capps in there for strike 1. Chad Kennedy last night had the 3-run home run in the 8th inning. Scored 3 times last night, drove in 3. Big night for Chad, who was batting 9th last night, and tonight he's batting 1st. 2 balls and a strike to Kennedy. Again, thanks to Nancy Randall for that great photo. Good wood put on this one. That'll get past Riggs into left field. And a big turnover at first base. Kennedy keeps you honest, as so many of these Liberal runners will do. Sharp single into left field for Chad Kennedy. That'll bring up Trent Maloney. He's 1 for 2. Walked and scored. He has a run scored. Single and a ground out to short. And the pitch from Capps in there for strike 1. So no balls, 1 strike to Trent Maloney. And on the move is Kennedy. This one's hit out into center field. Barfield going back shy of the track will make the catch, and returning to first will be Kennedy. So that's 2 away, and here comes Cale O'Donnell. Cale O'Donnell tonight, 2 RBIs. He's 1 for 3. Just weird feeling this cool breeze here tonight. Of course, I always have the window open here in the press box. O'Donnell chops it towards third, and foul ball. Riggs will pick it up, and Capps is ahead 0-1. Sam Capps on the season has a record of 0-2, an ERA just above 5. 14 1/3 innings of work, 17 hits, 8 earned runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. For Sam Capps, bearded right-handed pitcher. And the 0-1 is high, 1 ball and 1 strike. Tuesday night, no broadcast for us, so the Broncos are at Derby. And then a doubleheader here Wednesday night. Thursday's at Derby, and then next weekend in Liberal. against these BeeJays. Fastball in there for strike 2. After tonight, everybody has played everybody once. You play everybody 6 times, 3 at home, 3 on the road. 42 games, 21 home dates. Here's the runner going, and O'Donnell fouls it off. Of course, everyone fighting to get to the NBC World Series, which will be, so it's 2 weeks worth. I may next inning explain more about the NBC World Series for some of you fans that may not be familiar with it. 1 ball, 2 strikes to O'Donnell, and the pitch, and this one's grounded in the hole on the right side. Olsen gets it, and runners are at first and second. A seeing eye single for O'Donnell. So runners at first and second. The NBC World Series is played in Wichita, and it is really a fantastic event that's been going on for years. College teams from all over the country embarking on. You have to earn your way there. Here's Garrett Scott, and he'll look at strike 1. And Hayes, thanks to their runner-up finish last year, they get an automatic bid to the World Series this year. No balls and a strike. That one in there for strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes now to Garrett Scott. Scott tonight 0 for 2. 2 strikeouts and a walk. And Caps with the pitch. Goes low, and Coyne blocks at 1 and 2. And the goal, of course, make it to the second week of that NBC. That's championship week. And the wrinkle that was tried out last year will be done again this year. Scott hits it sharply on the left field line. That's going to score 1. Crosby's got it. He'll fire it to third. Riggs able to catch it falling to the turf. And it's a RBI double for Garrett Scott. So what the BeeJays have done tonight, 2 out hits, the Broncos have not been able to capitalize on their opportunities. So runners at second and third. And the BeeJays make it 7-3. Sam Capps will go from the windup, dealing with Jaron Robinson, who's 0 for 3, sitting to a couple of fielders' choices. And he lifts this one high on the infield, drifting out to the outfield. Ben Olsen didn't see it, now comes in and makes the catch for El Dorado. But again, a big 2-out hit for the Liberal BeeJays. They score 1 on 3 hits, no errors, and they left 2 men in scoring position. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's Liberal 7, El Dorado 3. More of your emails, more about the NBC World Series after a short break here on YouTube. First pitch swinging to lead off the 6th inning is Olsen, and he'll ground out to shortstop. And Zach Zeller gets one pitch and one out to start the sixth. Here's Mason Goad coming up. Mason Goad is 0 for 2 tonight with 2 strikeouts. Good to see Sam Donnell and Hunter Larson here in the press box. And Hunter's everything's where it's supposed to be. He's walking normally. That's good. Goad looks at a big curve for ball 1. So 1 ball and no strikes here to Mason Goad. 7-3 Liberal. And Zeller will bring it home, and that one's low ball too. So last year, the NBC World Series, which has had some struggling attendance in the few years, they brought in an old ex-major leaguers have a team. And there's some controversy on this. They automatically start in the championship week. And last year, Dan Ugla, Tim Hudson, Ryan Langerhans, Coy Hill, here's Goad fouling it off. All these former major leaguers. Well, you can imagine in a market like Wichita, when you bring former big leaguers in, they all wore their uniforms for the team they played for. It really drew some huge crowds. Pitch to Goad low, ball 3. So the issue, though, you think about these college guys, just in our league, there's lots of leagues that they do things differently. Goad turns on one, hits it out into left field, but right at the left fielder, Crossman. And that's the second out, and that'll bring up Jarrett Coyne. So you have these, you look at these teams here, they're playing 6 nights a week for 6 or 7 weeks just for an opportunity to get to the NBC World Series. And then if you work that hard and then you have to play the big leaguers, now, not that they're unbeatable, but that's a pretty big challenge, as you can imagine. This year, Chipper Jones has said he's going to come play. Adam LaRoche. A lot of these big leaguers that everyone's heard of will be here. So, I mean, there's one point where it's got to be a thrill to play against these guys, but they could easily end your season. Coyne narrowly hit there. 2 balls and a strike. So, something to kind of think about. There's pros and cons to it. It certainly draws a good crowd, that's for sure. And Coyne sprays one right side. That's going to go foul. And again, it's a tournament that used to attract teams from Oregon and Washington and Alaska. And some teams, you can imagine as well, the expense if you spend 2 weeks in Wichita with hotels and food, and that can be costly. There's foul tip by Coyne. It didn't. Scott did not catch it, I don't think, because Scott didn't act like he caught it. He didn't pop right out of there. It was foul tipped. Generally, the catcher will be the first one to race off. So, the third baseman, Maloney, came sprinting in, but no one else really did. Garrett Scott, if anything, didn't really sell it that he did catch it. I'm not sure what... So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Jarrett Coyne. And Zeller winds and deals, and this pitch inside, ball 3. So Coyne and Zeller can go no further. 3 balls, 2 strikes. .66 Zach Zeller winds, deals the pitch. That one's low, ball 4. So Jarrett Coyne will get a walk, a 2-out walk for the Broncos. So the first week of the NBC World Series is July 22nd to 28th, and then the championship week begins July 29th. And that's the goal of every team, to make it there. Now they send out invites, and generally a lot of teams from our league will get an invite if other teams decline their invite. So generally you'll see 3 or 4 teams from the Jayhawk Conference there. Here's a throwback, trying to throw behind Coyne, and it got away, but not enough for Jarrett to advance to second. No balls and a strike to Tyler Bailey. Tyler Bailey, 2 for 3 tonight, a double in the third, singled and scored in the fifth. 7-3 Liberal here in the sixth inning. And the pitch, that one's fouled off, and it's 0-2. Breeze still blowing in out of the north here at McDonald's Stadium. Zeller look over at Coyne, who walked with 2 outs. He's going, and the pitch inside. Scott didn't look like he got a great handle of it. Had to kind of reach back in there, and it'll be a stolen base for Jarrett Coyne. So again, the Broncos searching for that 2-out hit here. 7-3 Liberal. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Bailey, and the pitch, and Bailey hits it out to second base, and it's caught by Rhodes. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We'll head to the 7th inning. BeeJays lead by 4 here on YouTube. So the El Dorado Broncos bring in another new pitcher here to face the BeeJays in the 7th inning. 7-3 Liberal, and here comes Mitch McIntyre into the game. Mitch McIntyre in his 7th game has an ERA of around 3.6, 17 and a third innings of work. McIntyre went to Wichita State, then transferred over to Indiana State. So he is a Sycamore. McIntyre, 7 walks, 22 strikeouts. Mitch had a terrific performance here Wednesday against Hayes. In 5 innings, McIntyre struck out 10 Larks, but the Broncos ended up losing 7-4 to Hayes here Wednesday. And McIntyre's in there for strike one. 1 ball and 1 strike to Gage Tier. Tier 2 for 3 tonight. Singled in the first, walked in the third, and struck out his last at bat. Hits this one sharply out to center field. Good wood put on there on that ball by Gage Tier. I was about to say Tier's first hit was a bit of a flare, but sometimes that's all it takes to get going, and Tier really squared that one up and hit it sharply out to center field. So Brennan Rhodes will come up. Girlfriend Cammie watching tonight. Brennan has gone 2 for 3. He has driven in one and scored a run. And the first offering is fouled. So no balls and a strike. And the pitch from McIntyre, swing and a miss, strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Brennan Rhodes from Snyder, Texas, goes to Lubbock Christian. And the 0-2. That one's bounced towards Riggs. Gets it on the big hop. Goes to second, and a nice pick by Goad. Not able to turn 2. Nice job by Tier out there. He was called out, I thought. It looked like they got him at second. Tier slid in hard, and then immediately patted Tyler Bailey. Toby Reuter out to discuss. It was a low throw, but Goad picked it. Looked like he had his foot on the base, and Toby Reuter. So I don't know if they're saying he didn't have his foot on the base or what. So Gary, what's our call there? Fielder's choice. So Caleb Ward steps in there. He's 1 for 3 with a single. Runners at first and second. 1 ball, no strikes to Ward. And that pitch low, 2-0. Caleb Ward from Hampton, Virginia. He's a Spider from the University of Richmond. And McIntyre's pitch, that's in there for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike. We'll get back to your emails here. Two and 1 from Mitch McIntyre. And a good rip there by Ward. He fouled it out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Don't forget, all our games are archived. You can go back and watch any or all of the games. Swing and a miss. And that's strike 3. There we go. So there's one way the umpire really late in throwing up the right hand saying that's an out. I don't know. I don't know what you say. Here comes Nate Crossman. When I hear Gary bellow from the other end, I know there's something goofy going on. McIntyre misses. 1 ball and no strikes. Nancy Randall with a photo, and the folks in Irons loved seeing all the kids here on this youth baseball night. That pitch in there for a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. what was really fun, hopefully you got to see that. I'm glad I had the video going. They sent players out, or they sent like an army of kids out with a few of the players, and then they spread out. Here's a 1-1. And some of them went running all over the place out on the field. It was comical, to say the least. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the 2-1 curveball, which really worked good. And boy, Mitch smacking his leg. He thought that one was a strike, and it's 3-1. Mitch very frustrated with that pitch calling a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike, and a swing and a miss on the fastball. 3-2. So 3 balls, 2 strikes to Nate Crossman. Runners at first and second, 1 out here in the 7th for Liberal. And a swing and a miss. Oh, he dropped the ball. So a foul tip and another chance. Thank you, Aunt Sally, for the email. And I appreciate the kind words. So Toby Reuter. Usually I can hear a foul tip. I don't know if I didn't hear anything there. I saw it hit the glove and fall out of Jarrett's glove, but there really wasn't a... Usually the umpire will raise his hands and indicate foul ball, and we're not getting that. So we'll do 3-2 again. And this one's bounced towards Riggs at third. He touches third. It's a fair ball. Crossman runs so well, no chance to get him at first, so... Gage Tier is retired. 5 unassisted, so Josh Riggs makes that play. That one was hugging the third base line, just stayed fair. Crossman moves so well. Here's Chad Kennedy. Number 9 batter last night, number 1 batter tonight. And curveball, that's in there for strike 1. Broncos trailing 7-3. Liberal scored 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. Things have calmed down since, but the Broncos trail by 4. Here's the 0-1. That one's in the turf. Jarrett Coyne with a nice stop. So no balls and a strike to Chad Kennedy, who comes into play tonight batting .333. He's been a hot hitter for Liberal. And this one got past Coyne, and runners will move up to second and third. Wild pitch. So 2 balls and a strike. Here to Nate Crossman. To Chad Kennedy. Right-handed batter is Kennedy. And the pitch fouled it off. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kennedy with 2 home runs on the season. He's driven in 13. He's got 2 out there waiting for him. El Dorado scored 1 in the second and 2 in the 5th. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch, curveball, a high chopper. Riggs gets it on the big hop, has to throw quickly, and does. Oh, and they called him safe. Bang, bang play. Riggs did all he could. But Kennedy, again, so many of these BeeJays really get down the line in a hurry. So this has been a frustrating inning for the Broncos for sure. And Mitch McIntyre is going to leave this game. So the BeeJays add 1 more. It's 8-3, and we'll have a new Bronco pitcher. We'll tell you about him in a moment here on YouTube. So Taylor Woods is the new pitcher for El Dorado, and I just found out Taylor Woods, who went to Labette County last year, has signed to play at Southwestern College, which is having baseball for the first time since the 50s. A new baseball program at Southwestern in Winfield, which is Taylor's hometown. So, being a Winfielder myself, looking forward to seeing Taylor Woods pitch for Southwestern College in the Kansas Collegiate Athletic Conference. Jarrett Coyne, what a terrific block. Kennedy will easily move to second base, but Coyne kept a run from scoring there. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Trent Maloney, lefty on lefty here, and Woods misses. 2 balls and a strike. Trent Maloney tonight walked and scored in the first, singled in the second, grounded out to short and flew out to center field. Here's the pitch. This one's lifted high, Goad ranging back. Who's calling for it? Barfield calls it and makes the catch. And the BeeJays are done in the 7th, but they score 1 run on 2 hits. No errors, 2 left. Time to stretch here in El Dorado. Liberal 8, El Dorado 3. Back in a moment on YouTube. Zach Zeller remains on the mound for the BeeJays, but a new catcher. And from Kyle Schmidt's family, and Kyle Schmidt is now behind the plate for Liberal. Aaron Mack will lead it off for El Dorado here in the 7th inning. Mack 1 for 3, an RBI double, and scored a run in the 5th inning. And he hits the other way, going out towards left field, and Crossman can't find it. It's a fair ball. It goes down into the corner. Aaron Mack on his way to third, and it'll be a triple. Last night we had several players start losing balls. So that'll be a triple for Aaron Mack. I thought Mack hit it better. I saw Crossman come in quite a ways, and then he threw his hands up, indicating he had no clue where it was, and it landed well behind him. So here's Colton Schenker. Schenker's 0 for 3 with an RBI. And Schenker hits this one back. I could barely see that one coming back. 1 ball and 1 strike. Colton Onstadt plays for Liberal, and he played the first 2 nights, has not seen action yet tonight, but got an email. Here's Schenker hitting it out to left field, and it's caught by Crossman. He'll quickly throw it in, and Aaron Mack unable to advance. Line drive out to Crossman. Hit well by Schenker. Aunt Barb King from Elk River, Minnesota, cheering on her nephew, Colton Onstadt, and the Liberal BeeJays. Barbara, thank you for the email. Julie Riggs with a good email. She says we need to send the replay booth in New York like they do in the major leagues. I think she's got a point. Julie Riggs said that one. Yeah, Josh hasn't gotten much love on his plays over at third tonight. No balls and a strike to Kyle Barfield. And a swing and a miss. Challenge fastball, and Barfield missed it. So no balls and 2 strikes. We all agree with you, Julie. So Barfield, no balls, 2 strikes. He's 1 for 3 tonight. Singled in the 5th inning. Struck out looking in the 2nd. Grounded out to short in the 4th. Here's the 0-2 from Zeller. And Barfield able to fight off that inside fastball. So no balls, 2 strikes from Zach Zeller. Here's the pitch, and Barfield was fooled badly there. And I think he broke his bat as he smacked it on the carpet. Now the Broncos, the story of the night for them, they've gotten runners in scoring position. They just haven't been able to plate many of them. Bailey was on second with 1 out in the 3rd. Broncos had bases loaded with 1 out in the 4th. There's one in the turf and blocked by Schmidt. El Dorado had Jarrett Coyne at second with 2 outs in the 6th. Couldn't deliver him. And now Aaron Mack, a leadoff triple, but he's still there with 2 away. 8-3 Liberal. And the 1-0 pitch, fastball in there, strike 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Chad Crosby. And this one's fouled off of Schmidt's mask. And 1 ball and 2 strikes. They'll give Kyle a moment or 2 here to gather himself. I don't know if people appreciate, boy, those foul tips right off the catcher's mask really rattle you a little bit. So it's always good when the umpires see that. They appreciate the catchers. They know those don't feel good, so they usually give them a moment or 2 to gather themselves. Here's the 1-2 from Zeller, and again Schmidt able to block this one. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Aaron Mack still down at third base for El Dorado. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch is low, ball 3. Shout out to Brad and Roxanne Cool at El Dorado Building Systems Incorporated at 1216 West 6th here in El Dorado. They are the leaders in today's metal building market. Great sponsors of Bronco baseball and our broadcasts. And the pitch, and Crosby thought it was ball 4. Frustrated. And it's a strikeout, and so the Broncos unable to cash in on the leadoff triple. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We'll head to the 8th inning. 8-3 Liberal here on YouTube. So time for the top of the 8th inning here from McDonald Stadium. Cale O'Donnell will lead it off for the BeeJays. Meant to take a look and share with you the standings in our Jayhawk Baseball League. And O'Donnell hits it down to Riggs at third, over to first base, and O'Donnell is called out. So one away for the BeeJays here in the top of the 8th, and here comes Kyle Schmidt. Kyle Schmidt played here last night, and he had a single and a double. Hit it hard last night. He was the victim of a hit and run where he hit it sharply out to center field, and it was caught by Barfield, which ended up doubling up his teammate. No balls and a strike. That one's low. Ball 1. One ball, one strike. And Woods misses there, 2-1. You can follow the Jayhawk Summer Baseball on Facebook. They post the schedule and the standings after each day. Just look up Jayhawk Summer Baseball. Schmidt fouls this one off, 2-2. So Liberal is 14-4, leading our league. Derby 12-6, they're 2 back. Hayes is 11-5, 2 back. Those teams were rained out tonight out in Hayes. A little more, too much rain out in western Kansas. 3-2 now to Schmidt. Dodge City is 11-6. They've come alive. El Dorado is 8-11 coming in tonight, tied with Great Bend at 8-11. Hayesville 5-14. Oklahoma City is 3-15. Here's the 3-2. And Schmidt hits it out to right field. And Olsen sees it and makes the catch. That's the second out. Right now it's an adventure when you hit it on the outfield. We've seen so many players not see balls the last 2 nights. So 2 away for the BeeJays here in the 8th, and Jaron Robinson comes up. Right-handed batter is Jaron Robinson. Comes into play tonight, hitting .306. Belts this one out into left field. It's foul. And strike 1. Robinson, 62 at-bats, 19 hits. 2 doubles, a triple, and a homer for Robinson on the season. Taylor Woods heading to Southwestern. The Southwestern College hasn't had baseball since 1950. And they will start play in this upcoming school year in the KCAC. Taylor Woods will be a member of that team. It's been interesting seeing him put a team together. Their new coach told me there's really no playbook on starting a baseball program. Just doing the best he can, so it should be interesting. 2 balls and 1 strike here to Jaron Robinson. And the pitch, this one's whacked out into center field. Kyle Barfield coming in and makes the catch on the run. Kyle Barfield. So a 3-up, 3-down inning for just the second time tonight. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. 8-3 Liberal here on YouTube. New pitcher for the Liberal BeeJays is Derek Kraft. Kraft has not given up an earned run yet this year. This is his 6th game. He's pitched 7 innings, 5 hits, no runs, no earned, 5 walks, 12 strikeouts. He has no record. He pitched here, I don't know, last night or Friday night. So Josh Riggs will face Kraft. Josh tonight, 1 for 2, and a big swing by Riggs and a miss. Josh Riggs, 1 for 2, a single in the 2nd inning. He walked in the 4th and flew out to right field in the 5th. And the pitch to Riggs, low, 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 big dudes out there again. Zach Zeller faced Riggs last time. Kraft is even taller. Kraft is 6'8". Inside, 2 balls and a strike. Here comes the 2-ball, 1 strike pitch to Riggs, and he swings over the top. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Appreciate all the great emails from the Irons, Michigan area. All the Riggs family, they don't miss a game. Here's the 2-2, and high and tight, 3-2. I don't believe Derby has a video broadcast. I know they have an audio broadcast. So Tuesday night, you may have to just listen. And then Wednesday night, we'll have the doubleheader here. Riggs looks at ball 4, so a leadoff walk for El Dorado. Certainly not out of the realm of possibility here. The Broncos trail by 5, but they have had opportunities, just have not cashed in on many of them tonight. And the first pitch to Ben Olsen is called strike 1. Like that was high and away. So the 0-1, and Olsen sprays this one. Look out, Bronco dugout. So no balls and 2 strikes. That was on the dugout in a hurry. Riggs with a leadoff of first. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch, and Olsen again goes the other way, but foul. Kraft wants to talk to Schmidt. Don't forget about the wall calendar if you want to get a El Dorado Bronco Boys of Summer wall calendar. You'll be good from August of 2017 to December of 2018. 8.5 by 11 inch wall calendar, $15. If you need it shipped, it'll be $20. All proceeds go to the Broncos. No balls, 2 strikes to Ben Olsen. And Olsen watches this one low, 1-2. Bottom of inning number 8, 8-3 Liberal. They scored 3 in the first, and they've enjoyed a lead ever since. El Dorado had it down to 6-3, but single runs in the 6th and 7th inning by Liberal pushed it back out to 5 at 8-3. John Steiger was tonight's starter for the Broncos. Had a bit of a rough go through the first inning. Walked the first 2 hitters he faced, and that usually spells trouble. And it did. As Liberal cashed in for 3 in that first inning. Here's the 1-2 to Olsen in the turf. Schmidt able to gobble it up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So after next weekend, when the Broncos go to Liberal, then we settle in for a nice long home stretch. Tuesday, July 4th through Thursday, July 13th. 9 games in 10 days, all at home. And all on YouTube. 3-2 now to Olsen. That homestand will see Oklahoma City in for 3, Dodge City in for 3, and Great Bend in for 3. The Broncos end the season on a 6-game road trip at Hayesville and at Hayes. Hayesville, not a long trip. Hayes is. Here's the 3-2. And I think Olsen felt like he swung. Olsen was... It looked like a swing by Ben Olsen. In fact, he was ready. So now the BeeJays suffer some of the... Ben Olsen thought that he swung himself and was ready to head back, but the umpire did not ring him up, and now they just checked. So runners at first and second for El Dorado. So neither side has been thrilled tonight with some of the calls. That one really went against Liberal, that's for sure. So the Broncos will see if they can cash in here. 2 straight walks. And Mason Goad up there. He's 0 for 3 tonight. I believe the umpire did eject the Liberal manager. So the umpire is, as you can see, he's writing something down on his scorecard, and so we'll back it back up here. Get this camera set. There we go. We can see first and third. 8-3 Liberal, but runners at first and second with nobody out. And here's Mason Goad. And Goad squares, pulled it back, and it's a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. No action right now in the Liberal bullpen. Now Derek Kraft trying to fight through some of the adversity. Here's the 1-0, and Goad pulls it back. That's in there for strike 1. One ball, 1 strike to Mason Goad. Here's the 1-1, and Goad goes down the first base line. That's a fair ball. Here comes Riggs. He will score. Goad on his way to second, and it's an RBI double for Mason Goad. Right down the first base line. So the back walks. The Broncos cash in 1, and it's 8-4. And Jarrett Coyne's going to step in. So Jarrett Coyne, I know he was frustrated when he popped out to first with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the 4th inning. Well, he gets another RBI opportunity here. I didn't see Aaron Coyne. He was, that's Jarrett's dad. He was here last night from Michigan. He thought maybe with some rain in the forecast up in Michigan on Monday, he might be able to stay for one more game, but I think he left. So Aaron might be watching right now. I know Michelle Coyne watching, and Jarrett looks at strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. Coyne tonight 0 for 3 with a walk and a stolen base. And the pitch from Kraft Boy, he rifles it in there. A little extra zip on that one. No balls and 2 strikes. So no balls, 2 strikes to Jarrett Coyne. Runners at second and third. Olson's at third. Goads at second. Nobody out here in the Bronco 8th. And Coyne looks at strike 3. And Jarrett Coyne just got thrown out of the game. He didn't like that call. Thought it was on the inner half. And it was a quick trigger. And you can't, as a player, you can't argue balls and strikes. So that's the first out. And Jarrett Coyne was ejected. So again, along it's so we've had 2 ejections here in the 8th inning. The Liberal manager and now Jarrett Coyne for El Dorado, and here's Tyler Bailey. Bailey, right-handed batter, and inside, ball 1. Heard some of the fans say that was the same pitch. So 1 ball, no strikes. Bailey's got a couple of hits tonight, a single and a double. He scored a run, one of the 4 for El Dorado, and he fouls this one off. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the umpire needs some more baseballs. So a ball and a strike to Tyler Bailey. Aaron Mack waits on deck. 8-12-1 for Liberal, 4-8-1 for El Dorado. Here's the 1-1, and Bailey shoots it towards right field. It's in the outfield for a base hit. 1 run is in. Goad trying to score, and he will score. A 2 RBI single by Tyler Bailey. So the Broncos will send the tying run to the plate with an 8-6 score. Aaron Mack is the Broncos' leading home run hitter this year with 4. Mack has a double and then a triple where the left fielder Crossman lost it in the night sky. So 2 for 4 for Aaron Mack. Tyler Bailey gets his lead off of first, and Mack behind on that gas. No balls and a strike. And the Liberal will send someone down to the bullpen. Here comes the 0-1 to Aaron Mack. And again, fastball and a miss, strike 2. So now Aaron Mack will have to go to work. He's down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. 8-6 Liberal here in the bottom of the 8th. A 3 spot for El Dorado so far here in the 8th inning. And the pitch. Mack shoots it to left field, a base hit. Good 2-strike hitting by Aaron Mack. He's got 3 hits tonight. So the Broncos with runners at first and second. Rubber game of this 3-game series. El Dorado winning 3-2 here Friday. Liberal 11-1 last night. And now here's Colton Schenker. Schenker on the season hitting .275. 40 at bats, 11 hits. He's driven in 5. And in 40 at bats, just 5 strikeouts for Schenker. now 6. He has 1 tonight. Colton is 0 for 4. Hit it hard as last time, but hit it out to left field. 4 and out. And the pitch from Kraft, that's bounded towards second base. The only play will be to first. So the runners move up. The BeeJays get an out. And the biggest at bat of the night will be in the shoulders of Kyle Barfield. Kyle Barfield tonight has a single in 4 tries. 8-6 Liberal, tying runs out in scoring position for El Dorado. They trailed at one point tonight 5-0 and 6-1. And the pitch is low, strike 1. Swinging at that one. Kyle was expecting something different there, I think. So no balls and a strike to Kyle Barfield. Chad Crosby on deck for the Bronx. 6'8" Derek Kraft out on that pitching slab, and he's got his sign. And the pitch. Fastball, and Barfield shoots it out of play the other way. Well, we saw Aaron Mack a few moments ago fall down 0-2. And he was able to serve one out to left field for a base hit. Bailey at third, Mack at second. No balls and 2 strikes to Kyle Barfield. And Barfield will call time. Kraft has his sign. And the 0-2 pitch. Curveball. Barfield hits it out into left field. 1 run scores. Aaron Mack will try. Here's a throw home. And Mack is thrown out at the plate. Toby Reuter rolled the dice. So the Broncos score 1 more. But Mack is retired at the plate. 4 runs in the inning for El Dorado. 4 runs on 4 hits. No errors, 2 ejections, and no one left on base. Let's head to the 9th inning. Liberal 8, El Dorado 7. So an interesting 8th inning here in El Dorado for sure. 2 players, or a manager for Liberal ejected. Jarrett Coyne for El Dorado ejected. The Broncos scored 4 times. Nate Crossman able to throw Aaron Mack out at the plate. Really, for Toby Reuter with 2 outs, not a bad risk there. Had to be a perfect throw there. It was. And they got Mack. I mean, if that throw is offline and you don't send him, you wonder why, because then you still need another hit to get the game tied. So the Broncos rolled the dice. It didn't work their way, but they did score 4 to make it 8-7. Aaron Mack now catching for El Dorado, and here's Gage Tier leading off for Liberal, and he's ahead 1-0. Taylor Woods remains on the hill for El Dorado, and Tier hits it hard out to left field. Crosby comes in and makes the catch. Diving catch by Crosby. You couldn't see it, but it was a nice one there as he dove forward to catch that sinking line drive. So 1 away. Broncos riding a little wave of momentum right now. Brennan Rhodes steps in. Rhodes has scored a couple runs tonight. He's driven in 1. Officially, he's 2 for 4. No balls and a strike here to Rhodes. And the pitch from Woods is inside, ball 1. So here's the 1-1 from Woods to Rhodes, low, ball 2. Two balls and a strike here to Rhodes, and that pitch sails high, ball 3. Taylor Woods on the season. This is his 8th appearance. 10 2/3 with 11 hits given up, 3 earned runs. And this one's hit a ton out to left field, and that is way out of here. Home run for Brennan Rhodes. Crosby didn't even move, as that one really was a no-doubter. So a big insurance run for the BeeJays. For Brennan Rhodes, his first home run of the season. So Woods fell behind 3-1, had to serve up something sweet, and Rhodes pounded it. No balls and a strike to Ward. Ward 1 for 4 tonight with a couple of strikeouts. This one's hit well out to left. Crosby got a late jump, and it got past him as he dove for it. That'll roll to the wall. Ward, he runs well. He's off a second, on his way to third. Crosby will throw it in, and it'll be a triple for Caleb Ward. Crosby got a late jump on that one. So a triple for Ward. So the BeeJays are squaring up Woods. Remember, Crosby made a diving catch on Gage Tier's hit out to left field. The Bronco infield will come in. Crossman at the plate. And Woods is high, ball 1. Big run for Liberal as the Broncos got within 1, and now they push it out to 2, and Ward waiting down at third base. Curveball in there for strike 1. Nine 14-1 here for Liberal. 7-11-1 for El Dorado. Crossman pokes this one. It's going to end up foul, and a good run by Olsen, but could not catch up to it. So it's a strike, and 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Nate Crossman. Crossman with the big throw from left field to throw out Aaron Mack, who tried to tie the game up. Here's the 1-2. It's high, 2-2. Woods desperate for a strikeout here. Crossman just looking to put it in play. And a strikeout. Swing and a miss. Just what Woods needed. He went with the changeup there and strikes out Crossman. So Chad Kennedy comes up for the sixth time tonight. Walked and scored in the first, reached on an error and scored in the second. Popped out to first in the third, singled and scored in the sixth, an RBI single in the seventh. This one's nubbed foul. So officially 2 for 4. 3 runs scored and 1 RBI. Pretty good production from your leadoff man. Here's the 0-1. And Mack able to block that one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mack might have taken that one off the thigh, so he's going to try to work out that. He took that one right off where there's no padding. As always, once you get to Sunday night, a much-needed off day tomorrow. One ball, 1 strike. And the pitch from Woods, that's in there for strike 2. Kennedy wasn't so sure about that call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the slider stayed outside. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nine-7 Liberal here in the top of the 9th. And the pitch. And that one's laced foul down the third base side. Brennan Rhodes with a home run. Then Caleb Ward with a sinking line drive out to left. Crosby went for broke, didn't get it, ended up being a triple. He stands at third with 2 outs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch from Woods. Fouled out of play. Taylor's got his sign. The lefty winds and deals. The pitch inside. Ball 3. Also low. Now a full count. So here comes the 3-2 from Woods. And the fastball fouled off. The Broncos will send Crosby, Riggs, and Olsen to the dish in the bottom of the 9th inning. There's the 3-2. And this one's grounded towards Josh Riggs at third. He's able to get it on the short hop. Fires to first, too high over the head of Schenker. That will score Ward. And a big unearned run for the BeeJays. So 10-7 now. Just didn't quite follow through with that throw, and it sailed well over the head of Schenker. So Chad Kennedy reaches by air for the second time tonight. Trent Maloney. He walked and scored in that first inning. So a good answer by the BeeJays after El Dorado scores 4 in the 8th. Liberals come back with 2 here in the 9th. Maloney has flown out to center field his last 2 times. Kyle Barfield's been busy center fielder the last 2 days. Woods misses. 1 ball and no strikes. Woods delivers, and that one's in there for strike one. Maloney didn't like that. You can just see by the players' reactions on both sides. More often than not, they seem a little perplexed by the calls. 1 ball, 1 strike. And this one's, excuse me, tapper out to Woods. He will underhand it over to Schenker, and that will retire Maloney. But a home run and then an unearned run. And the BJ lead is 3 as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Liberal 10, El Dorado 7. This is Bronco Baseball on YouTube. Cale O'Donnell is the new pitcher for Liberal, trying to close this one out he'll be looking for his 3rd save. 4th appearance, 3 innings. Hasn't given up any hits, runs, walks. He has 5 strikeouts. He has been really good in 3 innings of work. Of course, Derek Kraft came into play tonight without allowing any earned runs, any runs at all. And the Broncos were able to touch him up. So, see what El Dorado can do here in the bottom of the 9th inning. 10-7 Liberal. Chad Crosby. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Crosby tonight. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. 0 for 2 with a run scored. So the 0-1 from O'Donnell. He really has some good arm action as he's coming home. Gage Tier over at first base now for Liberal. O'Donnell goes from first base to pitcher. Crosby misses on that fastball. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So a 1-2 pitch coming from O'Donnell to Chad Crosby. And the righty delivers, and that's a strikeout. So a good start for O'Donnell. That leadoff batter is so important when you have a lead in the bottom of the 9th inning.
24, Josh Riggs.
So Josh Riggs will stand in. He's walked twice tonight. He's 1 for 2 with a single. First pitch to Riggs. That one's right in there for strike 1. O'Donnell. Again, no hits given up in 3 innings, no walks. 1 ball, 1 strike to Riggs. These teams will know each other pretty well when they meet again next weekend in Liberal. Here's the 1-1, and Riggs fouls it out of play. So a ball and 2 strikes. For any of you coming to the game on the 4th of July, O'Donnell Might have felt something and he's pointing at his back. And O'Donnell's going to be lifted here. So there's Cale O'Donnell. Felt something in his back. So O'Donnell will leave, and so the new pitcher will have all the time he needs to get warm here. So we'll zoom it here and let you look at the new pitcher, and we'll tell you who it is. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Josh Riggs. 1 away here in the bottom of the 9th. 10-7 Liberal on YouTube. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Josh Riggs. Let's get this backed out so you can see Riggs. And he'll foul off. Might have broke his bat. He did. So Chance Carner comes out to pitch from Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Goes to Murray State. Chance Carner, another great ERA, 10 2/3 innings work, 1 earned run given up. There's a reason why Liberal's 14-4. They have some terrific arms. Riggs fouls it off again. I mean, just looking at their stat line, I mean, 4 pitchers they had coming into play tonight hadn't given up a run this year. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Riggs looks at that one in the turf. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Broncos trying to get something going here in the bottom of the 9th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 away. El Dorado trails by 3. Ben Olson waiting on deck. 2-2 from Carner. And that one's in there for strike 3. Cale O'Donnell gets credit for that strikeout.
Number 8, Ben Olson.
So Ben Olson will stand in. Ben singled in a run in the 2nd inning, walked in the 4th, grounded out to short in the 6th, and walked and scored in the 8th. And he looks at ball 1. So officially 1 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI. Well, there's 2 big runs for Liberal in the 9th. Just make that mountain so much bigger to climb here. Got to get a couple guys on. Ben Olson, we'll see if he can get something started with 2 outs. 2 balls and no strikes to Ben Olson. And that pitch low. Oh, called a little bit of a late call. 2 balls and a strike. So the 2-1 pitch to Olson. And he hits it out into left field. And coming in and making the catch is Crossman. And in the game, and the Liberal BeeJays take 2 out of 3, just as the Hayes Larks did. So this key home stretch for the Broncos doesn't go quite the way they had hoped. They go 2-4 on the homestand. Liberal wins tonight by a score of 10-7. 10 runs, 14 hits, and 1 error for Liberal. 7 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors for El Dorado. Winning pitcher tonight is Harrison, and John Steiger gets the loss. Time of tonight's game, 2 hours and 59 minutes. Liberal wins the game and the series 10-7. Thanks so much for all your comments and your emails and your photos. Look forward to doing it again with you on Wednesday night when the Derby Twins are in here for a doubleheader. 6 o'clock for Game 1, and then 15 minutes or so after the conclusion of Game 1, we'll get Game 2 going. El Dorado's off tomorrow. They're at Derby on Tuesday night. And again, Wednesday night, we'll have the doubleheader for you here on YouTube. Hope you enjoyed the action. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Talk to you Wednesday. Until then, Kurt Caden bidding you good night from El Dorado.